And from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY right now in LI, making my way back to BK to go see a bar. And want to give a birthday shout out to my son Smiley. Shout out to you, Pimp. So, we definitely gonna link up later on today. You know, but shout out to you. But yeah, man, I wanted to come on today, right now, as I take this hour drive and talk to you guys about the greatest story ever told to black people. Now, I don't want to call it the greatest. I don't want to call it the greatest story. More like the greatest fable ever told to black people. And that story right there is the Bible. Now, I want to start off by correcting these Hebrew Israelites. I want them to understand something. When the Bible told you to here a little, there a little, take something here, take something there, that was for that particular precept within the scriptures. And I think it was Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken. Jeremiah or Isaiah, either one of the two. I don't remember. But that particular verse was for that chapter, that story, that book. Now, why am I saying that? The reason why I'm saying that is every time, and I repeat, every time a black Hebrew Israelite, teacher or whatever, stands before a historian, a philosopher, a theologian that's got degree, that's a doctrine, that has a doctrine in biblical studies, that has a doctrine in religion, every time they stand in front of these individuals, they always get cooked. Now, the reason why you guys are getting cooked is for two reasons. Reason number one is you're believing this precept upon precept. No, these things are stories written at the time and what was to happen at that time, or what's supposed to happen, even though we know. I'll leave that alone. And number two, the reason why you guys are getting cooked is because it is not your book. Yes, people. Yes, my brothers. Yes, my sisters. The Bible is not your book. It is not your story. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do about you. Nothing. You can't prove anything. Anything outside of the story of Josephus and Enoch, you guys can't prove nothing. And even Josephus is being considered another fairy tale. Yes, right now as we speak, scholars are coming to the conclusion that everything that Josephus was talking about wasn't for real, because it's not backed by any archaeological evidence. The Bible was given unto you, black people, for one reason and one reason only: to have a particular group of people running the world. The Bible was given unto you for one reason and one reason only: to have a particular group of people running the world. If you take this belief out of your mind and you read it for what it is, I promise you, you will see that the story that you're reading is about a particular group of people. These particular group of people don't look like you, don't talk like you, don't walk like you. Again, the only reason why slavery was put inside that book was so it can be used to enslave you. Okay? It's easier for somebody to submit and bow down, gracefully bow out, if it's proven or it's shown that God ordained slavery to happen. Now, to my Hebrew Israelites, you guys are suffering from what you call mental illness. A mental illness that I like to call GME, genetically modified Europeans. You're trying your best to prove to the world and to yourself that you are the original people. But in such claims, those claims must come with some level of backing. And those backings is being able to speak the language, being able to learn the language and speak it fluently without no hiccups. Because something of yours can easily go back to your membrane, easily. But when something is not yours, it will never connect with you, even if you wanted to. You understand? You understand? People that like hummus, the average black person will not like hummus unless they force themselves to eat it. We're not doing that. And I'm not being disrespectful. I just want you to understand something. That this cannot be proven. And these are reasons why every time you stand in front of people that's top scholars, you see, when you stand in front of the ignorant, when you stand in front of those that don't know nothing, it's easy for you to sell that pitch. It's easy because the person has no understanding, has no reflection, has absolutely nothing connected to that. And that's an issue that you guys are failing to realize, that you are suffering from GME, genetically modified European. Now, you guys are sitting here saying that a kingdom shall come. When I go home tonight, if not tonight, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna show you one of the reasons why Africa is suffering. And not only am I gonna do that, I might make it a series and pinpoint why Africa is suffering. Okay? Okay, cool. The issues with you guys are, and I don't want to just focus on you, just us as a whole. The greatest story ever told to black people. The issue with us is, we somewhere down the line believe that something out of ordinary is coming to save us. And the story's about us because of, the plane was literally like right here. I'm looking at it. Man, see if I can flip the screen. You see it? It was lower. It's getting higher. But anyway, my bad. So like I was saying, the reason why we sitting here and we trying to believe that this story is about us is because of the enslavement that they have put into the Bible. When you read the Bible carefully and you read it internally, thoroughly, you will see that the book is only designed to uplift and talk about a particular group of people. The story has absolutely nothing to do with anything black. Every time you get on your knees and you pray, you give in a particular group of people more ammo, more power, more resistance. You're giving them the strength, and you guys are not paying attention. You guys are not paying attention. You guys are not paying attention. And the reason because of that is you believe that there's something that's going to come and redeem you because according to the story, you was held captive for disobedience to God. Cool. But I'm here to tell you that these things was put in place. I repeat, these things were put in place, people, to allow you to accept your demise, to allow for you to accept your enslavement, and accepting it till this very day, right now as we speak. Right now as we speak, we are black people that's in complete agreement and acceptance to their enslavement of themselves, the continuous enslavement of themselves, the enslavement of their ancestors, the enslavement of everything. Anything that has to do with slavery, we have completely accepted and said to ourselves that this is God's doing. And if we get back, we will get out of his bad side and we will be on his good side, and we shall inherit the kingdom. A kingdom that has already arrived, people. A kingdom that is already here, people. When Jesus was alive, let this process. When Jesus was alive, was there any churches with Jesus' face on it? Was there any cross with Jesus' face on it? Was there anything pertaining to Jesus when he was alive? Absolutely not. Fast forward to 2,000 years later, according to what we've been told, all you see is churches. It doesn't matter where you are in the United States. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter if you in the most ghettoest ghetto or the most whitest. They even got Jesus in Arab areas. You're waiting for a kingdom that has already arrived and is in full control. And the reason why it remains in full control is because of your ignorance. It's because you refuse, and I repeat, you refuse to break free and understand that the book was never meant to be read in a belief. It was meant to be read logical, because it is the greatest story ever told. It is just a story that was written by Freemasonry men, that was designed to mimic and copy all the texts that they have received over the years, that they stolen, plagiarized, and none of it has anything to do with African. I repeat, none of it has anything to do for African. They do not have any respect for you. You don't generate enough for them to have any high level of respect for you. All they want is your land. All they want is your land. They already beat your ancestries out of you. They already beat your belief out of you. They already beat the heritage out of you. That's what slavery was for. They took that away. All of that is complete. They're not worrying about nothing. The only thing that they're worrying about is making sure that you are out the way and doing their job, whether it's digging in the mines, whether it's putting the gold, etc. That's all your job is here to do. Similar to what you see in America. They don't give a damn about you. You need to realize that they don't give a damn about you. The system shows that they don't give a damn about you. The way the system works shows that they don't give a damn about you. This is not me saying this. This is the system giving you black people a reminder. A reminder that you is nothing but cattle. There's useless waste that needs to be erased. You think people that put you in some level of slavery in that magnitude, you think all of a sudden they're gonna have a change of heart? You think all of a sudden things is gonna be different where you can come together and start? No, these things would never occur, people. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It would never occur. You was never free. You was never, nothing was ever given unto you for any salvation. It was only given to you to grab your attention. And your attention has been grabbed, your attention has been shot, you can't comprehend. And anytime they see that you'll break out of it, anytime they feel that you breaking out, or you ask a question that's not supposed to be asked, they say things, my brother, you drifting off, you going back into the world, you doing this, you doing that, anything. I hate to burst the bubble to you guys. You guys are upholding the story of Paul. And I know I said I'm gonna do a whole breakdown of Paul. I just want to set it up nice. But you guys follow Paul. Paul was, Paul was a man that was arresting those that follow Jesus, right? And you know that he never seen Jesus, right? And even though he never seen Jesus, the people, when you read the story, read it carefully, guys, because you're not reading it carefully. The people knew he never followed Jesus. The people didn't trust him. The people didn't have any love for the man Paul. until he started allowing them to participate in their pagan hedonistic rituals. But in the process of that, he was totally going against the teachings of Jesus. Jesus said, keep the commandments. Paul said, as long as you believe in faith, you circumcise. What commandments you got to keep? You fine. Nothing to worry about over here. This is what Paul was saying. You guys don't even know who Paul really is. Paul is the Pope. You guys don't know that. Paul is the Pope of the world. Paul was the first Pope. You guys didn't know that. Paul's teachings is what religion is today. Paul don't follow nothing of Jesus other than the fact that he was so-called sacrificed and resurrected. That's the only passage that they have taken from Jesus. Everything else is Paul studies. Everything else is Paul studies. I repeat, everything else, guys, is Paul studies. The Bible is not about Jesus. The Bible is the acceptance to Paul. How about I give you this? How about I give you this? I'm gonna give you guys some brownie points. Check this out. It was Adam and Eve, right? Adam and Eve had children. I'm gonna feed this to you, so I'm gonna show you how much of a Hollywood script, the greatest story ever told. Check this out. Adam and Eve had two children, right? Cain and Abel, right? Cain was what? Cain was what? Abel was what? What was their characteristics? One was a tiller of the ground, and the other one dealt with the beast, right? One was the tiller of the ground, and the other one dealt with the beast, dealt with the cattle, right? Pay attention. I'm gonna give you the story right now. All right? The story about eat. Oh, hold on, let me slow down. Slow down, my guy. The story about Isaac and Ishmael. Two brothers, right? Listen carefully to the story. Two brothers. One was wild and the beast, and the other one was subtle and calm. Cain and Abel, same story, subtle and calm. I take it up a notch. What about the Jacob story? What about the Jacob story? The Jacob story was what? Esau was a hunter, he's this, and Jacob was a what? It was a cunning hunter, right? What happened? Cain got kicked out, right? Cain got kicked out. Ishmael got kicked out. Jacob was forced to leave. You guys still don't see the story. Okay, let's say it again. Cain got kicked out. Ishmael got kicked out, right? And Jacob had to leave. You guys still don't see the similar story being repeated over and over again. You guys still don't see the story being repeated over and over again. Okay. The greatest story ever told unto us, bro. I know. I had some pizza and that was nasty. The greatest story ever told unto us, guys. Pay attention. Now, even with the story of Moses. Moses was a Pharaoh, son of the Pharaoh, killed the Pharaoh. He was cast out. He ran away. To then what? To later return. Cain returned. Isaac returned. This is the same continuous story over and over and over and over and over again. I should have stopped and got some water. stop and get some water. Nah, damn, 3:44. I can't even get the water. The same story over and over and over again. Everything operates in threes. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Everything operates in threes. Everything operates in threes. You guys still not putting the pieces together. Okay. The greatest story ever told unto us was the Biblos. Now, when you ask brothers and sisters to prove their claims, they can't prove nothing. Nothing can be proven. They can't prove that black people spoke Hebrew, because the Hebrew language would have been in the land, all across the land. They can't prove that. They got African languages that go back generations after generation. But only the Hebrew Israelites lost their language. You believe that? Cool. You can't trace your DNA back to any, these brothers can't trace your DNA. No human being actually can trace their DNA back to any character within the Biblos. Even though we know the DNA nonsense, it's nothing. Oh, you know what? Let me go over here. Even though we know the DNA was a CIA operative designed to gain your people's, to allow these people to have your substance, to create antimatters, to destroy you when it's all said and done. Tell me I'm lying, guys. Let me know when I'm lying. And before, right after, if not right after, or right before, 2019, 2020 with the nonsense. What's that DNA company? Ancestry sold your joint to BlackRock, and BlackRock and the other one, See Me something. I forgot the name of it. See Me something. Said there was a data breach and they lost all their information. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. You see the issue that we're having here is the fact that we are refusing to take the book for logical. We are trying to install a belief mechanism amongst us and use this belief as a reason to justify or overlook the hypocrisy, overlook the contradiction, overlook the repetitive story, the repeated story. Like, wait, hold on. Cain got kicked out. Ishmael got kicked out. It's always two sons, and Jacob was forced to leave, which basically means he got kicked out. So here's the pioneers of religion, the pioneers of everything, and everybody's getting kicked out. And everybody's getting kicked out. Nobody don't find that kind of strange. Nobody don't find that kind of strange. Nobody don't find that kind of strange. Wait until I sit down and I settled in and I give you guys this Noah story. The origin of this Noah story. And how they had like 15 different versions. Their control. It's Babylonian that you guys are seeing here. You guys are not seeing nothing in their control. It's Babylonian that you guys are seeing here. You guys are not seeing nothing. You guys are believing that, in some way down the line, something magical is going to happen and the children is going to gather together and God is going to make a way. There's no way. Sorry. The Babylonian God of the Bible was not designed to protect you, save you, redeem you, and bring you back to a land. It was the Babylonian God that put you in the circumstances that you are in right now. It was the Babylonian God, guys. Yahushua is a Babylonian God. These are European created. These are their worship. These are their honor. These are practices, not yours. And for you to prove that this is black, you must show me the exact origin. Don't give me no assumptions, don't give me no assertions. And this is where we at. And the reason why we are in these assumptions and assertions is because we are in a trend in psychological. My bad, guys. We was around an area where there's no service. But like I said, all these religions had their hands in your enslavement. And they didn't have their hands in nobody else's enslavement but black people, guys. All these religions had their hands in all the enslavement of black people, guys. They didn't have their enslavement. They didn't have your enslavements of Chinese. They didn't have the enslavements of Mexicans. They didn't have that. None of these people was taking out their homes and shipped somewhere else. Okay.